As someone who didn't get into medical school the first time round, I honestly know exactly how overwhelming it is when you're reapplying. You want every part of your application to look perfect, but you don't know where to start, you don't know what to prioritize, and you don't know what to do differently this time. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Zain. I study at the University of Manchester and I'm starting medicine there this fall. In today's video, I'll be telling you about the 3 main insights I had the year that I was reapplying to med school. These are the 3 things that I changed to help me get that competitive medical school offer. Let's get straight into it. Your number 1 priority needs to be to maximize your academics, whether it's your grades, A-levels, IBs, UCAT, BMAT scores, any of the academic parts of your application need to be as high as possible. Don't just aim for the average scores, don't aim for the minimum AAA university requirements. If your GCSEs were bad, then max out on your A-levels. If they didn't work out either, then work smart, retake, and secure those A-star grades that you need. The reason I'm putting so much emphasis on this is because I made the mistake of underestimating the importance of having the best of the best grades. I thought that the university application process was going to be a lot more holistic than it actually was. So I focused on getting top work experience, the best extracurriculars to build my CV, and I didn't actually give myself enough time to focus on the actual important exams. It's simply because most UK medical schools value your academics above everything else. Now, I'm not saying if you don't have incredible top of the top academics or grades, you won't get into medical school. Because there's so many people who had average A-levels but ended up being amazing medical students at the top universities out there. But the reality is that without these top grades, you just won't be maximizing your chances of getting into medical school. And if you're reapplying, then you should be looking for every possibility of doing that, because that's what your application should be about, maximizing your chances in any possible way that you can. After speaking to a lot of people and realizing this, I upped my game at university and ended up scoring one of the highest grades out of everyone that was applying that year. I'm grateful for this to this day because it boosted my chances. It immediately differentiated me, and I don't think I would have gotten the offer without having the top of the top grades here. This is the most objective part of your application, so try your hardest to put as much effort as you possibly can to maximize on these academics. The second insight I had came from something a medic told me. She said that you don't have to be a prodigy to get into med school. You just have to check the boxes for the qualities that a good doctor has. And that stuck with me because the first time I was applying, my entire focus was on making myself stand out, having unique things on my application. When we can't really forget that most medical schools are looking for the same standard list of qualities that a good doctor has. Someone that's compassionate, intelligent, approachable, someone that has strong soft skills like communication and listening. Unis are going through your application, going through your interviews and your personal statement, trying to find evidence that you have these baseline qualities of a good doctor. But despite this being so important, most of us only start to read and properly understand these qualities after we've submitted our application. And what I learned was that you can't just treat the specific list of qualities that the university is looking for within you as an afterthought. Actively thinking about developing these qualities during your experiences changes the way that you approach all of it. Because normally I'd just go to volunteer, for example, at a care home. I'd make a few notes in the day, do a couple of things, and then come home and reflect. And that, I think, is how most people do it as well. But by actively thinking about qualities A, B, C, and D before I even got to that care home, I'm now going to be looking for opportunities to actually develop and display these qualities. When I'm there, I'm now thinking about ways that I can demonstrate my enthusiasm to learn, or ways that I can be proactive and initiate activities, or even develop my communication skills by talking and listening to all of the unique people that are there. Now, as you can see, by having these qualities in mind, you just naturally become a lot more receptive to situations that can help you develop and work on them. Being intentional this way is so underrated, and you end up becoming this proactive person that the medical school is looking for in the first place. It's a very simple change that can just lead to a lot more richness in your experiences. Life isn't really fair. It isn't really a level playing field. And people don't just get into medical school out of pure hustle or hard work. The reality is that all of us inherently have different strengths and weaknesses. All of us have different circumstances. And there's factors like privilege, money, intelligence, luck, random chance that are all at play here. And even though we know about them, we're almost never conscious about them. them. Most of us just focus on the hard work bit because we think we can't control any of the other stuff. But that's the wrong way to go about it. Every one of you is born with at least some form of these unfair advantages, and you can and should be using them to help you get into medical school. These advantages aren't just big things like status or location. It's all the little things that give you that edge, that make parts of the application easier for you, and you need to learn how to capitalize on them. Whether it's the fact that you're in a school that has a lot of resources to help you with your application, or you know a doctor in the family that can give you meaningful work experience, or you're a 9-year piano player that has the strongest bone of discipline with them. Or maybe life just put you through a lot of difficulties, a lot of struggles that gave you a strong character, made you more resilient, made you more insightful as a person. My point is that all of your unique experiences, the place you're in, the network of people you know, the insights you've had, the skills you've gained, all of it can be used as some sort of unfair advantage in this process. For me, my unfair advantage was that I was surrounded by medical students at university. These people that could give me insight into the day-to-day, help with my personal statement. They did a ton of practice interviews with me, and this overall forms a very strong unfair advantage. Another one of mine was that I lived in Pakistan a while before I came to university. So because of the massive network of relatives and friends, there was a very low barrier to getting meaningful work experience and volunteering that at the end of it helped me develop my skills and those qualities that I mentioned earlier a lot faster than most other people. I could probably list out way more, but the important thing is that I sat there months before my application and actually wrote down my unfair advantages on a piece of paper and thought about ways that I could practically use them to get into medical school. It's a very simple exercise, and I strongly suggest you do it too because it gives you direction and it really teaches you how to play to your strengths during this process. If you use them cleverly enough, unfair advantages can really be the things that help you maximize your chances of getting into medical school. Anyways guys, those were the 3 biggest insights I've gained from getting into medical school after reapplying. Your number 1 priority needs to be to maximize your grades as much as possible. Second, you need to be actively thinking about and developing the qualities that a good doctor has during your experiences rather than after them. And lastly, you need to figure out how to cleverly use your unfair advantages to your advantage. All of these things combined will really maximize the chances of you getting into medical school. Thank you so much for watching. I wish you the best of luck if you're applying anytime soon. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like, subscribe for more content in the future, and I'll see you next week. Bye bye.